Well, hello everybody and welcome to our Hope Diamonds team meeting for June. As you would all know, my name is Karen and this is wonderful Wilma.
Hi everyone.
And I hope that you're not frozen because we're now into winter. So we're here to do our winter warming welcome to June. There you go, I just made it up. There you go.
Very good.
So, welcome to our June team meeting. If you are a team member, welcome. If you are a host or a customer watching us, welcome to you. Tonight we're going to be cooking with our fabulous spice mixes in, of course, our famous pressure cooker. So we'll be looking forward to introducing that to you as well. This month we have a special on our bundles and our cookware. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later on, where everybody gets double ups on their cookware and on their cookware bundles. So really good reason for you as a customer to be buying cookware this month and cookware bundles, and for us as consultants to be telling you all about it, right? Yeah, so we're going to be explaining a little bit about how that works, which is why we've got our fabulous flyers up here, and we're going to be talking about that as well. So just a little bit about our team, introducing everybody around. We have Lee, who's our technology guru. You don't often see him, but you'll hear him, and he's the one who gobbles up all the food at the end of the night. Diane, who's in Budgewoi, Karina in Canton Beach, Fiona, who's also up the Central Coast in Bensville, Karen in Mount Cola, Simone in Stanhope Gardens, Lana in Wyoming, Ashley in San Remo, Jane all the way up in Rathmines, Wilma, who's here with me, but she otherwise lives in Penrith, and of course myself here in my house in the Ponds. So welcome to everybody. So we're going to get straight into our cooking. And as I said, we're going to be cooking with, we're going to be making Indian Biryani in our pressure cooker. Now, we do sell a lot of our spices, so you need to be carrying these if you are a consultant. I always carry all 5 of them, pass them around at a party. One thing I say to everybody is smell, don't inhale. If you inhale, there's a lot of sneezing that happens at a party. So don't inhale them. They're 100% pure spice. Really, really good for people who are gluten intolerant because they don't contain any fillers and especially no flour. When you buy spice mixes from the supermarket or anywhere else, apart from us, they contain fillers and are not pure. Spices, when they're imported into this country, they come in, they are repackaged and relabeled and have new use-by dates put on them. So you're often buying spice mixes that are already out of date by the time you get them home. At Chef's Toolbox, we import our spices whole. We grind them and package them here, so you get what you pay for. Our spices are true, 100% pure, and the use-by dates on them last for 18 months. Okay, so you're getting exactly what you really want to get. And the only things in them are the spices that are written on the front. So, for example, if you want to make butter chicken, normally you'd have to go and buy 10 different spices and then hope that they don't all go out of date by the time you use them. Or you can buy one of our spice mixes, use a tablespoon of this, and make butter chicken in 8 minutes in your pressure cooker. The great thing about these also is that they all come with recipes on the back. So some of them have recipes written for your saute pan or your pots, and some of them have recipes written for your pressure cooker. If you buy one that has a recipe written for your pan and you want to convert it to your pressure cooker, call your friendly consultant and we will send you the converted recipe for your pressure cooker, because we love our pressure cooker and we have written them all out to convert them for your pressure cooker. So these are really, really economical. On average, you get between 8 to 12 family meals out of one packet. It's really important that you listen to that bit. So I did have one customer who used a whole packet of butter chicken in one dish. She did breathe fire for about 3 days.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and she rang me up to order another packet, and I said, really, oh, you know, that was only shipped last week. You have you been cooking buttered chicken every night? And she said, no, I didn't pay attention and I used the whole packet. Wow, you only need a tablespoon, so that's a lot of buttered chicken spice mix, so don't do that. So one packet retails for $12, or you can buy all 5 in what we call a family meals pack for $50, and you save yourself $10 by doing it that way. Most of us keep a record of what you buy, so if you get really, really excited and you use up the whole packet and you throw the packet away, and then you think, oh, rats, I can't remember which one it was that I really liked, all you have to do is ring up your consultant and say, oh, Karen, you know, I was at Wilma's party 3 months ago. I know that I bought a spice that I really liked, but I've thrown it away. Or most of my customers actually blame their husband. Husband's thrown it away. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me which one it was? All I have to do is punch in your name. I don't have a brain either, but I have a spreadsheet. It has a brain. So all I have to do is punch in your name. It brings up exactly what it was that you bought and when you bought it. And so then I can say to you, that's great, you bought buttered chicken, you know, would you like me to reorder you another one? And the same goes for, you know, at the moment we have 5 in our range, but who's to say that down the track we don't release another one or more? And let's say you really like our curries. So down the track we might release another curry spice mix. So I can ring you up and say, Wilma, I know you really liked the Thai massaman curry. Well, we have another range of curries. Would you like to try those ones? So that's my customer service to you. So tonight we're actually going to be using our biryani mix, and it's this one here. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different spices in the packet. So all you have to do is use a tablespoon of this, it's 2 teaspoons, not even a tablespoon. 2 teaspoons of this instead of going to buy 10 different spices. So it's much easier. All right, so I sent out our recipe to all of our consultants. We're going to be using our pressure cooker. The recipe on the back is for your saute pan or your square roaster, or a fry pan. Okay, so this is designed to be cooked for 25 minutes. We're going to do it in 8, all right, because we love our pressure cooker.
Makes things go faster.
We love that. And of course, when you buy a new pressure cooker now, you will get your new silicone basket. It looks like this. Of course, the silicone basket that we've had forever looks like this, which is absolutely fine, works a treat, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. This was just built for interesting people who, when they put a chicken on this one, and they've had 30,000 bottles of wine by the time they pull their chicken out, can't lift a basket straight, and they drop their chicken on the floor. Okay, I've never dropped a chicken on the floor, and I have been known to have 30,000 bottles of wine. This is just so that when you pull this one out, your chicken stays in the fence. Okay, so that's what that one's for. But it doesn't even matter tonight because we're not going to use any basket.
No, we're not.
We don't need to.
And I can lift out 2 kilos of chicken legs on the old basket without dropping any. So it's a perfectly good basket.
And lamb shanks and all those other kinds of fun things. All right, so wonderful, Wilma. Would you like to read our recipe?
All right, our lovely recipe in the pressure cooker.
Yes.
Cook your onion, which is a large sliced onion.
Yes. Do we need some oil first?
2 tablespoons of oil. Right. I'm getting there.
Oh, sorry.
Until soft but not brown.
Okay, so we'll whack some oil in. We've got some onion.
And the reason we do that, the reason we put the onion and often garlic and things like that in first and just give them a quick saute is that it makes them sweat and it releases the flavour from the onion and the garlic, so that it actually goes throughout your dish. So it's not, we're not pre-cooking it or anything like that. It's a way of making sure the flavours actually come out in the dish.
And the other thing that you'll see on your recipe sheet is it actually says roasted nuts. So when I get to a party, I actually roast off the nuts with no oil or anything else in your pressure cooker. So you can see here, I've got roasted cashews. So before anybody got to my party tonight, they went into the pressure cooker with nothing else, and I just toasted them off. And what happened then, I just take them out and put them in a bowl. And what happens then is everybody who arrives at a party thinks that I've actually been cooking popcorn, because roasted nuts with no oil or anything like that actually have the smell of popcorn.
Smell yum.
Yeah. And you're not making any more dishes or anything like that. It's just using the pressure cooker, and then it flavors up your pressure cooker as well of the toasted nuts, because they're going to go back in here anyway. So the great thing about our pressure cooker is it's a one-pot wonder. You know, people talk to me all the time about slow cookers, and they say one thing that they dislike about their slow cooker, there's many things about a slow cooker, but one thing that they dislike about their slow cooker is that they have to brown off meat in another pot before they put it into their slow cooker. You don't ever have to do anything like that in your pressure cooker. This is a one-pot wonder. Okay, so what else are we putting in with our onion?
So now we're going to add a clove of garlic.
Yep.
And 2 teaspoons of the biryani spice blend.
Yep.
And we're just going to stir that around for about a minute.
Beautiful. Okay.
So again, just to release all the beautiful flavours that are going to go through our biryani.
And the other thing about our spices is you don't just have to use these in the recipes that they say. For example, the paella mix, I add this to casseroles because it's a smoky flavour. So when you make your beef stroganoff, add your paella mix to your beef stroganoff. It gives it a really yummy, because it has the flavour of smoky bacon.
Oh, nice. That would be yum.
So add that to your beef stroganoff or your beef bourguignon. It adds a really, really smoky flavour. Okay.
Okay, so you can be smelling that. So now we're going to add 200 grams of kumara if you're fancy.
Yep.
If you're not fancy, it's called sweet potato, guys.
Exactly.
Peeled and cut into small cubes. 100 grams of green beans in 2 centimetre lengths. They can be fresh or frozen.
Yep.
50 grams of roasted cashew nuts or peanuts or nuts of your choice, really.
And check with the people that you're cooking for. I always I'm allergic to everything. I always ask the host, do you know if any of your guests are anaphylactic to nuts? Because if they're going to be allergic to anything, nuts is usually the biggest trigger.
I usually ask, does anybody have any nut issues? And that brings up all sorts of interesting comments. But, okay, we're going to put in there 40 grams of sultanas.
Yep.
500 mils of vegetable stock.
Yep, this is actually, and this is where you can play around with your recipe. I didn't have vegetable stock. This is actually a concoction of beef and chicken stock, otherwise known today as vegetable stock.
And if you haven't got stock, stock is a bit nicer, gives it more of a taste, but plain water will do as well.
Or you can mix half stock and half wine.
Oh, you can.
Yes.
And 200 grams of basmati rice.
Yep.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much it. We are going to give it all a stir, make sure it's all mixed in together, and most importantly, make sure any of your rice and things like that are moved down from the sides and are in your vegetable stock.
Because as you talk and play and stir, sometimes it just runs up the side a bit because it wants to say hello. So just mush it down into your stock. Just like that. Beautiful. It smells really good.
So now we're going to put our pressure cooker lid on. We're going to put it on and lock it.
Yes.
Put it on to pressure setting 2.
Done.
And we are going to wait for our little red button to pop up.
Beautiful. So it's always start your pressure cooker on high, always on any cooktop. And this is where you talk about the fact that your pressure cooker can go gas, electric, ceramic, induction. This is the only pot that doesn't go into the oven. And people will go, why would you want to put a pressure cooker in the oven? And I say, I know that sounds like a thing to say, but we always talk about how all of our pots are versatile and that they can go everywhere. And as soon as I don't talk about the pressure cooker going into the oven, somebody will put it in there.
Yeah, they will.
So doesn't go in the oven. Now, when you are selling a pressure cooker, I always say to everybody, when you get your pressure cooker home, the first thing you need to do is take it out of the box.
Yes.
Because it cooks nothing in the box. And you've just spent really good money, and the longer you leave it in the box, the more scared you might be to cook anything in it. So it must come out of the box. And then I encourage everybody to bring water to pressure in their pot on their own stove. Because we as consultants cook with a pressure cooker all the time, we know how low to turn the pressure down, how low to turn the heat down once it comes to pressure. But when a brand new person gets their pressure cooker and they're playing with it on their own stove, they don't know how low to turn it down. Now, you can't ruin water. And people are a bit funny about, if they've just assembled all their food in there, what's going to happen to it if I don't turn it down low enough, or if I have it up high, or whatever. So I say to everybody, when you first get it, bring water to pressure in your pressure cooker, and then turn it all the way down as low as your stove will let you turn it down, and still allow the little red button to stay up. And then you will know that's exactly where it needs to be on your stovetop. Right? As long as the little red button stays up and it's as low as it can go, turn it all the way down low, and if the little red button drops, turn it up just a bit more. Okay, and then you'll know on your stovetop that's low.
Everybody's stovetop is different. Different stoves generate different amounts of heat at different rates.
Yep.
So it's like cooking with, different ovens. They're all different.
Yes.
So people need to use them on their own stoves. On my stove, for example, low is 6.
Right.
Because I've got a Manky old electric stove.
Yes.
So,
okay, so our button is now popped. We're going to turn it all the way down to low.
And we're going to cook it for 8 whole minutes.
8 minutes. So this is faster than takeaway.
Absolutely.
All right. So this is, when we get to the low part, that's when I always say, who here has an electric or a ceramic cooktop? And you'll get a couple of people still now at a party that put up their hand. And I say, okay, some electric cooktops are good if they're new, and some of them, especially if they're older cooktops, can be a little interesting. So an electric and a ceramic cooktop take a very long time to come down off high heat. So sometimes if you have an electric cooktop, I will suggest that when you have your pressure cooker on high to bring the little button up, you have a second hob on low. So that instead of just turning the high one down, you move your pressure cooker onto the low one. Because for something that only takes 8 minutes, if you turned the high bit down, it would take a very long time to come off high heat to get to very low, and 8 minutes might not be long enough. Okay, so you might burn what's in there. So lots of people that have electric and ceramic stoves just swap them to the next hob. Gas and induction are totally different. When they're down, they're down. When they're on, and when they're off, they're off. You don't have to worry. And it's the same with when you turn your pressure cooker off and you wait for it to release. Induction and gas, when it's off, it's off. But when you turn off an electric or a ceramic cooktop, remove the pressure cooker off, because that's still hot. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay, so while we are just waiting for our 8 minutes to tick away there, we've got some dates to talk about with the rest of our team. We've got some, actually before we do that, Wilma, do you want to talk about our bundles that we've got sitting here? What have we got on the, what have we got on our display here?
Some of my very, very favoritist, that's the word, bundles. Yeah. This is our kitchen starter pack. And
And I know that's your favourite.
This
You talk
is
about that one all
my
the
favourite.
time.
I talk about it all the time at every single party, and I sell lots of them. The reason why is because we have our world famous saute pan that you will use every single day in your kitchen, at least once a day. It has our world famous spatula spoon that you will use every day, and of course our fusion knife that you will again use every day. So they're three essential items that people can purchase knowing they're going to use them every single day in their kitchen. What lots of people don't realise is that our silicone spoon can be used in our pots and left in our pots because they rate up to 230 degrees Celsius. So you can stir your paella or whatever you're doing in there, walk away, leave it in there. It's not going to melt like plastic. It's not going to scratch like wooden spoons do. It's going to be easy to clean. Of course, you can use our fusion knife for prepping everything that goes in there, from pumpkins to poultry basically, and everything in between. And of course our saute pan, as you know, goes on the stove top, in the oven, under the griller, on the camp stove, on the barbecue. There's almost, I tell people, if you had it for dinner last night, 99% of the time you could have cooked it in the saute pan. This will even make you a cup of tea because you can boil water and pour it into your cup.
There you go.
So it will do absolutely everything. So I sell lots of these, and
13 years ago when Toolbox was born, that was our signature pan. The very first masterclass that was designed, we did pizza on the stovetop. We still do pizza on the stovetop now, and it comes out of there. We do everything from scratch in Toolbox. Everything we cook, we design from scratch. We don't do, ready-made bases or, bottles and jars and cans and stuff like that. So we do flour and yeast and water and a bit of honey in there. You just mush it all out, and mush is a good word. You just mush it all out, push the base out all up to the sides. You don't have to wait for the base to rise, prove, do anything like that. Then you put any toppings that you like on the top, and then you put the lid on, and 25 minutes later, on your stove top, you will have a better pizza than what you would get by ringing up the local takeaway. It's more economical, it tastes better, and it's better for you.
You don't have to pay extra for half and half. You don't have to pay extra for extra toppings. You can have whatever you want on your pizza.
Yes.
And my favourite thing with the pizza is actually getting all the leftover bits out of the fridge.
Yes.
The last little bit of ham that's in there and the last bit of pineapple, and just digging through and getting all those last bits that aren't enough to do anything with, whack them all on a pizza. You could have pizza 7 nights a week and have a different one every single night.
That's true. You can even do garlic bread in there and make your own garlic bread. When we have a roast dinner, that becomes roast dinner pizza because all the leftover roast dinner goes on the top of there. Or tonight my family had spaghetti bolognese for dinner. So the leftover savoury mince goes on there with a bit of cheese on the top, and it becomes, savoury mince pizza. You just put whatever you've got in there, and you don't have to wait for some person to turn up on your step that's forgotten your garlic bread and your bottle of drink, and they don't have any change, and your pizza's cold. This will never happen in there.
And kids don't, if it's on a pizza, kids don't recognise that they're leftovers.
That's true.
I have a child who for 20 years refuses to eat leftovers.
Yeah.
Will not eat them. But if you take leftovers and put it on a pizza, they don't recognise them as leftovers, and he actually eats them.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. So the good thing about your kitchen starter pack is you can buy a saute pan on its own, and it will cost $235. But by buying it in a pack, you save almost $60 because the Fusion Wave knife on its own retails for over $100. And you cannot buy that spatula spoon on its own. And it's the most commonly asked for thing that I get. Can I buy just that? No, I'm sorry, you can't. It comes in a set with 2 other spatulas. So you can't just get that on its own. Everybody loves the Fusion Wave knife. It does not come in the set with the rest of the knives, so you need to buy that separately anyway. And so those are the 3 most common things that people start off their toolbox collection with. I had a lady ring me yesterday who bought that kitchen set as a present, as a wedding present for somebody. What a great gift.
Beautiful.
So,
gift.
And normally you would get 30 Chef's Club dollars as our compliments to you for being a loyal customer. In June, you're going to get 60.
That is amazing.
Yes. So, and we're going to tell you about our loyalty program in a little bit. But our biryani is ready. So I'm going to show you.
How fast is that? It gets me every time how quickly it cooks. It just does my head in.
Faster than takeaway.
Absolutely.
And at this point, always in a party, I talk about our beautiful chopping board. So this is our acacia wood chopping board. Acacia wood is special. It behaves differently to other wood in that you can put a hot pot either straight off a stovetop or straight out of the oven onto here and it doesn't burn. It's really, really important because you see lots of manky chopping boards around the place, and they have big black rings on here. You won't get that with our acacia wood chopping board. Acacia wood is also very, very light, so it's good for people who might be older. They can handle this because it's quite thick. It's made square to fit over sinkholes, so it creates a whole extra bench space. So really good for people who are bench space poor. But I chop on one side. Now this is almost coming up for 2.5 years old. So I chop on one side and the other side has not been chopped on. This is my presentation side. So I chop on one side and then once a month I rub some oil and some salt into here and it brings it back to looking really, really good again. Okay, so, and it does not cross-contaminate either, which is something that people really worry about. I'm allergic to everything, and if anybody was going to get sick, hello, my name's Karen Hope. So I chop everything on here from raw chicken to vegetables and everything in between. I use it to flip cakes out onto. I do everything on here. With our knives, you really want to make sure that you look after your knives. If you chop with a knife onto glass or marble, you will actually put pits in the knife. So please don't do that. And just while we're on the knife, don't ever put good knives in your dishwasher. Anything that's good should not see the inside of your dishwasher. And it's not the dishwasher's fault. It's not the water's fault. It's the powder or the tablets or the juice that you put in the dishwasher. And it doesn't matter what brand you use. It's the alkalinity of the dishwasher stuff that will ruin your good stuff that you put in there. And let's face it, this takes 2 seconds to wash under a tap. Okay, so don't put that in the dishwasher. And don't ever put your pots in the dishwasher either. All right, so to release our pressure, this has the best safety features ever. You can buy pressure cookers that are out there in the world that range from $60 through to $2,000. I wouldn't touch a $60 pressure cooker with a 50-foot barge pole, and you do not need to spend $2,000 on a pressure cooker that will do everything short of bring your washing in off the line. Okay, you don't need to do that. This is a pressure cooker that's 100% safe because while his belly button is up like this, it's physically impossible for you to unlock the lid. So nobody's going to get burnt. It's an enormous amount of build-up of pressure in here. So you've got to get the pressure out of the pot before you can take the lid off. 3 ways you can do that. You can leave it sit like this and it will pressure naturally all by itself. That takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. The whole purpose of using a pressure cooker is because you're hungry now and you want to get the food in there. So I don't do that. Or you can take it over to the sink and run cold water on the lid what the cold water does, it's called a quick release method. The cold water zaps all the pressure out from inside of the pot. The water will actually boil on the lid and all the pressure will come out very quickly and the button will drop. Or you can turn this little dial one nodule at a time. All right, otherwise you release too quickly and you might get spits, and you don't want to do that, especially if there's a lot of liquid in here. There isn't a lot of liquid in this one. So we just turn it, and the person next to you will always jump no matter how many times they've seen this.
I've seen it many times.
Okay, so one nodule at a time. This is always good for everybody because then they get to smell. We should have smell-o-vision here, but we haven't invented that yet. They always get to smell. This is the only time you actually get to smell what's been cooking in here. This is really quite safe. It's not going to set off smoke detectors or alarms or anything like that. So you do it a little bit and then you do it a little bit more. And only when the pressure goes out of here will this button drop, and only then can you undo the lid. Okay?
There he goes.
There he goes in there. So now we have yummy, yummy.
Oh, beautiful.
Biryani. And
Lovely.
perfectly cooked. And, thank you, nothing is, it's really bad when you wear glasses though, because you go to look in the pot and you get fogged up. Nothing is stuck to the bottom. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but we've got a beautiful pot with nothing stuck. All right, so then what we're going to do is just get some parsley and stir that through.
The reason we put the parsley in at the end is because it is a herb, and cooking that for 8 minutes will just disappear into the wild blue yonder.
You might as well not have even bothered to put it in, really.
There's enough heat in there to release the flavour of the parsley. Plus, it makes it look a little bit pretty as well.
Correct. So,
you can also put a bit of parsley to the side.
You can always tell. I told you Lee will come out when he smells the food.
You can pop a little bit of parsley and a few cashew nuts on the side and use it for decoration if you're wanting to do what I call the MasterChef version.
So you can see in 8 minutes, you have a really good looking meal like that. Okay, so that's not difficult. That's the reason we love our pressure cooker. Is this is a takeaway pot. This is throw everything in the pot, come back and food comes out. All right, so, and everybody in your house will eat it because it's restaurant quality food that is designed for people who are not cooks, not chefs.
That's me.
I am a food assembler. I make sure that I tell everybody at a party that I do not have a cookery background. I am not a cook. I am not a chef. I am a food assembler. This is a food assembling pot. Okay, so we food assemble. We don't cook. This cooks. We don't. To be a cook, you have to stand over at a stove and stir and add and taste and make sure the flavour's balanced. That's what this does. It combines everything together and food comes out. All right, so this is designed to save you time and money, and predominantly, yes, this is a vegetarian dish. You could put chicken in here, but this is a vegetarian dish. When you put meat in here, this would make any meat turn out to be like Scotch fillet steak.
Yep.
Okay, so this will be a beautiful dish, and so we will hand it over to the taste testers. But the good thing about this is I also hate doing dishes, because normally at my house the only person I can delegate that job to is me. So the less I can do, the better I like it. So when you see the bottom of this pot and nothing is stuck and you haven't had to stand and stir and do all of that kind of stuff, that's a pretty good testament to your pressure cooker. Okay, so if you are a host or a customer and you tuned in to play Cook Along with Karen, thank you. You can go eat your dinner now, and we're going to do the rest of our team meeting. So we will see you all next month, and I'm going to dish up one. I've dished up one for Lee. I'm going to dish up one for Wilma, and then we're going to get on to our team meeting. Thank you, guys, and we will see you back next month.
Bye.
And we will get on with our team meeting. Okay. So, for the rest of our team, we have, that smells really good, by the way. Bon appetit, you two.
I will do this in front of the camera.
Okay. You will be sent the team meeting, you'll be sent the agenda, so you will have all of the important dates and everything else that you need to have. Sales meeting is normally next week, but of course it's Queen's birthday, so there will be no sales meeting next week. It's the following week, as in the 15th of June. But you will have all of the dates for that. And team meetings will follow that. The next one is the 7th of July. Some of you have weekly catch-up time slots with me. If you don't have one and you'd like to have one, please contact me. There you will see that there are lots of time slots that are still available. Recognition for May. May was a very big month. You need to come to...
Huge.
You need to come to sales meeting to find out everything that happened, but our team did pretty well. I did share my goal with you all about this time last month.
You did, I remember.
So we'll get to that in a bit, but I always recognise everybody who sold in excess of $1,000 for the month. So congratulations to Karina Kay, $1,436.35. This is, by the way, PV. All right, so we recognise PV. Yeah.
Yep.
Lana, $1,934.50. Then we jump all the way up to 5,000. Congratulations to Wilma. And I think this was your second best month ever.
My second best month ever.
Congratulations, Wilma. And I will tell you that Wilma also recruited somebody in this month.
I did.
So Wilma introduced Simone in this month.
Simone.
So Wilma not only did a second best personal month, but introduced Simone in this month. So congratulations, Wilma, $5,826.32. And that was your second month in a row of over 4,000. Which, for those of you who don't know, Wilma and my goal every month is to be in the $4,000 club, which means that you get a really nice badge like this. So you've got three months in a row to get in the $4,000 club. And then last month I shared a goal with all of you, which was to break the personal sales record for Toolbox, which was just over 29,000 PV. That was set in November 2010, which was a Christmas period. Didn't quite get there. I missed it by
that much.
Just over 3,000 and a shave. So I sold $26,236.88 PV.
And I'm going to jump in there because Karen's not going to toot her own horn. It was an absolutely amazing effort. The lady worked her rear end off. And while she didn't beat the highest ever, she does now hold the record for the highest PV in a non-Christmas period.
Yeah, they did tell me that.
So, yahoo! So you've
much.
still set a new record.
Yep.
Incredibly proud of you.
Thank you.
And incredibly proud that you're my upline as well.
Thank you, Wilma. I did have some amazing hosts and some amazing customers. I went to every party, and they asked me, you know, how many parties did I have this month, and how many more did I have to go? I have to tell you, by the time I got to Thursday of the last week, I did have one customer look at me and go, "Karen, you look like shit." I went, yeah, that's about how I feel. And they were plugging black coffee into me and all sorts of other things, wanting to cook me dinner after I'd cooked them dinner. It was quite funny, but really, really nice to know that people cared, and that when I shared my goal, they really wanted to be a part of it. My party average went through the roof. I had a party average of over $1,100. I did 25 parties in the month and booked 36 more. So my party average was amazing, and I truly put that down to the fact that I sell bundles, which is what we're going to talk about as well, but the fact that people really wanted to help. And when you share a goal, everybody wants to be part of it. And I've had customers ring me since then saying, so how was your goal? How many parties did you end up doing? What did you end up selling? You know, all that kind of stuff. So it was really nice. It was nice to know that there were lots of people who actually cared, were ringing me on the way home to make sure that I was not asleep, you know, things like that. So that was pretty good. As a team, we sold $36,583.77, which was really good. And I'm hoping, and I'll let you know all of this next time, but I am hoping that may just get us somewhere close to being in the top 10. So fingers crossed. This is why you need to either be at sales meeting or watch the webinar on the Thursday, because they recognise the top 10 teams. And I've been watching the rankings, and May's going to be a big month. There are lots of people that have done huge things, but yeah, usually to get in the top 10, it's 30 plus. So we might have a chance, guys. So as a team, we held 40 parties. Our party average across the board was $872.50, and that's almost our top party average. So that's pretty phenomenal. And that means, when you look at that, that means that on average, all of your hosts were getting at least a $15 product and $200 to spend. So that's phenomenal. We had lots of happy hosts in May. And that means you guys were, every time you left the house, were making money. And that's a good thing. All right. So we want to talk a little bit about this month. So we've had a great May. And when you have a great month that you've just finished, it means that you have to have bounced into the next month. All right. You have to have done that. So I'm already full for June because I had a great May. So you have to bounce forward. So let's talk about the promotions that Toolbox have put on for June. And this is really awesome. Doubling your Chef's Club dollars is a huge opportunity to upsell cookware and bundles and increase your party averages. So, and we talked about the kitchen starter pack. If you can go from selling just a saute pan to a kitchen starter pack at your parties, that's massive. My favorite thing is a pressure cooker, but very rarely do I sell a pressure cooker because that costs $235. I sell pressure cooker bundles that cost $299. And if you work out the difference, I'm not very good at maths.
$112.
There you go. So that's an extra $112 at every party. I'm talking about the difference between $299 and $235.
About $64.
So there you go. So if I had 3 people at a party and they were all going to buy a pressure cooker, and I upsold them to a bundle, and that's $60-something, that's a big jump in my party average.
It's nearly an extra $200 on your party sales.
So that's nearly an extra pressure cooker every time. That's a big difference.
It's and worth doing.
That's just about selling the benefits of a bundle as opposed to just taking their order and saying thank you very much. And when you've got this to offer, then you can say, okay, so with your pressure cooker, you're going to get 25 Chef's Club dollars. And this month you'll get 50. With a bundle, you'll get 30, or you can have 60. And here's what you can buy with it. So Wilma's just going to give you a brief rundown on Chef's Club dollars because it's really important and we don't talk about it enough.
So Chef's Club dollars are really important. You should talk about them at every party. And I know in the past I've been very guilty of forgetting about Chef's Club dollars. But this month with the promotion is the month to get yourself in the habit of talking about it every single party. So what are they? For every $10 a customer spends, they get one Chef Club dollar. Those Chef Club dollars can be redeemed for free products online. So for example, when they save up 20 Chef's dollars, they can go online and buy a potato masher for free. Essentially, what I tell my customers, it's a 10% loyalty bonus. Okay, now you're not going to get that at David Jones or Myer, and you get that from us every single day of the year, 365 days, no matter what product you buy.
Yeah.
It just so happens that this month, it doubles up on cookware bundles and on cookware. So how do customers get Chef Club dollars? They can get them by purchasing at a party or when you put a purchase through for them on your portal. It's really important to remember they don't get Chef Club dollars when they purchase online on your website. Hosts can also qualify for Chef's Club dollars when they get their $200 and their $400 in spending money. They get that in the form of Chef's Club dollars as well. What about us? Yes, we can get Chef's Club dollars. When you purchase them as a customer, you get Chef's Club dollars. When you purchase your half-price products as a consultant, you don't get Chef's Club dollars on those. So it's only when you buy the full price items. They expire after 15 months, which is a seriously long time. So you can accrue them, you can add them up, you can spend them little bit by little bit, you can save them up and spend them in a big bit on whatever you want. So they're a really great loyalty program. I have one customer, I tell this story at all my parties, who told her husband that she wanted a particular pan for Christmas. And he said, okay, how much is the pan? She told him. He said, great, here's the money, go and buy your pan for yourself for Christmas. So she trots online, redeems it free with the Chef's Club dollars and keeps the money in her pocket, which I think was a pretty clever idea. So how do you know how many Chef's Club dollars people have? We don't send out regular emails, so you can go into your portal under My Profile, Chef's Club account history. You can search for any customer by putting in their name or their Chef's Club number, and you get a detailed report of all the Chef's Club dollars they've earned, what they've expired, what they've got them for, whether you got, that's also how you get your Fun Start dollars as well. So you get a whole history of those. It's very easy to redeem Chef's Club dollars. There are two ways of doing it. You can go into the portal, to My Toolbox, Terms and Conditions. Under the Tools heading are detailed instructions how customers can get those. And I'll talk more about those in a minute. Or you can do it yourself for your customer. Go into your portal, Sales and Redemption Orders, create a redemption order, follow the steps, and you can redeem it for yourself or your customers. If you're already confused, doesn't matter, because when you get emailed the information, all this is going to come in the email. Okay, so you'll have a hard copy of everything that I'm talking about. What can you redeem with your Chef's Club dollars? Most of our individual products are on the list. If it's not on the list, it's probably very new or out of stock. It will be added once it's available. The customer will be required to pay postage, which is either $8 or $10. And it's important that you can't use the Chef's Club dollars to pay for the postage. So they do need to have their credit card sitting there so they can pay for the postage. Bundles are not on the redemption list. That's because they're already discounted. So they can buy a saute pan, but they can't buy a starter bundle. If you don't have enough Chef's Club dollars, you might be just a little bit short. You can add a maximum of $50 on to an order to get your items on one item. Now, one really important note to go along with this is customers have to have a valid email address in the system to log in to get their Chef's Club dollars. Okay, this is a great reason to get their email address when they're ordering. You can explain that's why you need the email address. You can add an email address in at a later time, but it's just a really great way of making sure you get their email address and they also receive newsletters and other information as well.
Can I make one point?
You can.
If they don't have an email address, and I'll give you an example, my host today, I did a redemption for a lady today. She had 460 Chef's Club dollars. People still get their points even if they don't have an email. So this particular lady, her name's Deb, lovely lady. She does not do email. She doesn't have an email address, doesn't do it. They can still have their Chef's Club dollars redeemed and sent to them, but she had to ring me with a list of what she wanted. I did her redemption for her, and we'll send it to her that way. So they still get, even if they have no email attached to them, every time they buy something, or because she got $400 because she had 2 follow-on bookings, so that $400 dropped into her Chef's Club account. They still get everything. There's just no email attached to her account, so she can't physically go into the system and see how many points she has. So when I closed off the second booking, normally I would send an email saying, congratulations, Wilma, both of your follow-on bookings have been held. This is how many points you have. I sent that email to her next door neighbour and rang Deb and said, Deb, you need to go to Vanessa's house and have a look and see, and then pick what you'd like and ring me. So then I did her redemption order for her. So it's not impossible. There are a few people out there that don't have emails. You can still do it for them. It's perfectly fine. Doesn't take any time at all. But they just have to send you a list of what they would like and their credit card. Yeah.
So using Chef Club dollars are a great way to build your business.
Yeah.
You want to talk about them at every single party because it's a 10% loyalty program. They get 10% more product for their money with our Chef's Club dollars. Most exciting this month, they get 20% when they purchase a cookware bundle or cookware. So if they buy a saute pan, instead of getting 23 Chef's Club dollars, they're going to get 46 Chef's Club dollars. So they can go shopping and spend $40 odd on other free stuff to go with their saute pan. It really is awesome. 20% bonus. Now, customers don't receive a notification of how many CCDs or Chef's Club dollars they have when they're going to drop off the system. So this is a really good opportunity for us as consultants, a reason to contact our customers. And I'm going to tell you what I do. I contact my hosts, as Karen just mentioned. Whenever they have their second qualifying booking and they're getting 200 or 400 Chef's Club dollars, I send them a congratulations email. Hi, Karen, I'm so excited. Your 2 follow-on bookings have happened. You've got 400 Chef's Club dollars. Here's your Chef's Club number. Yeah. And I attach the sheet of how to redeem those. And information on that sheet is in the handout that you will get. Then after about 4 or 5 days, usually on my business building Tuesday, I will ring them up because not everybody's like me and reads their email every day and say, hi, Karen, I'm really excited. I just wanted to make sure that you got my email. And you know, and just talk them through the process and make sure they do go. Some people don't check their emails for like 3 months at a time, so it can be too late. I also contact customers. So I have had customers who spend a lot of money at a party or through an order. I will do the same thing for them as well. I want to keep them happy. They're big spending customers. So I'll do the same thing. And I'll follow them up again. Every month I go through my order forms from 6 months ago and check their Chef's Club dollars. And if they've got $50 or more in their account, I send them an email and again follow up with a phone call. The reason for that is people can buy lots and lots of things over a period of 6 months. And most of them do not realise how many Chef's Club dollars they've got. So they really appreciate the customer service, often very surprised how much money they've got in there. Hosts forget things happen in their life. They forget to redeem their $400. So they really appreciate you ringing them up and saying, hi, just ringing you to remind you, do you know you have these Chef's Club dollars there?
And a really good example of that is I did a party last Friday night. I talked about Chef's Club. Lady sat there and put up her hand. Her name was Karen. And she said, and by the way, don't ever let your points expire. And I went, okay, clearly that's happened to you. And she said 4 or 5 years ago, she had a party. She did not know that her points were in there. She had 2 follow-on bookings, so she had over $400 worth of points. She didn't know that there was an expiry. The consultant had told her that she had 400 points, did not know that there was an expiry, and just kept meaning to go and spend the points, but couldn't decide between a saute pan and a square roaster. Just couldn't decide. And then her points expired.
And she got nothing.
So I came home from that, and so I suggested to her that she have another party. She said, oh, yeah, I'll think about it. I got home, and the next day I rang her, and I said, oh, Karen, it's Karen calling from the Chef's Toolbox. I'm sitting here in front of my computer, and I've just pulled up your records, and I'm shocked. You actually had over 500 points that expired, and I feel really bad, and clearly there's nothing that I can do about the points that have expired. But clearly you are a loyal Toolbox customer back then, and you know how to throw a really great party. I would really love to come and do a party for you so that we can get you some points, because clearly you are a great Toolbox customer, and you are loyal to the company, and I'd really like to give some of that loyalty back to you. And I promise I will hound you until you go shopping in your account and you make sure that your points never expire again. I booked her in. So I could have lost her because maybe she was bitter that her points expired, but I booked her in for a party. So you can get customers back like that.
And what's really important is your Chef's Club dollars are a reason to call people, as opposed to, would you like to book a party?
Yes.
It's a great reason to call them, to have a chat to them, to continue your relationship with them. You can talk about the current month's promotions. You can talk about new products, new catalogues, talk about new masterclass themes, info on joining. The call can lead to almost anything from good customer service to a new booking to a new person in your team, but it will almost certainly lead to loyal customers, which you want to keep.
Yeah.
I have in the handout that Karen's going to email to you copies of where to find the documents that I use, and also a copy of the email that I send to people.
Yeah.
And what I do, I just have my email in Word. So whenever I'm sending it, I just cut it from Word, paste it into the email, change a couple of details, and off it goes. So I'm not rewriting the same thing all the time. It takes me all of 15 seconds. So please feel free to use any of the wording that I've put in there. There's also information on where to find more info on Chef's Club dollars. And most importantly, if you get stuck and you've got questions, please ask your upline. I've given you lots and lots of info here, and I've probably numbed your brain a little bit. Ring your upline or phone the lovely people at support. Okay, there are 3 people there waiting between 9 to 5 every Monday to Friday for somebody to ring them.
Yeah.
If you don't ring them, somebody's going to be out of a job.
That's true.
So if you can't get hold of your upline because they're busy cracking records, ring the people at support. They are lovely and they're paid to help you.
That's right.
And they will help you.
Yeah.
So use the Chefs Club dollars this month.
Yeah.
60 Chefs Club dollars when they buy a pressure cooker bundle. I mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah.
An extra 20% back for your money. Nobody at Myers and David Jones ever does that.
No, absolutely not. Thank you, Wilma. That's awesome. So I will send that all off to you guys tomorrow. And don't forget that this month the host reward is $30 for hosting a party. So that gives you another reason when you're on the phone to them, tell them about that. There are lots of people, I'm sure, that you could not fit into your diary for one reason or another, whether it was your reason or theirs, for May. Now's a good time for you to ring them back and get them into June. June is one of the most popular months to have a party because it's cold and people want to stay at home. So they have more gatherings during June so that they can get people together, and it's a good reason for people to get together and crank up the fire. It's going to build momentum if you have a good June to push you through, and I know it sounds scary, but to push you through to that towards the end of the year. How about offering people winter warmer parties? You can create themes that cost you very little and use up very little brain power, but keep it simple. You've got enough to do, just keep it simple. How about challenging the host to have all of their guests wear or bring, because you can't drive in these, but bring their slippers to the party, and you give a prize to the best dressed slipper wearer. Now, when I'm talking about a prize, it can be the high heel pancake mold because it's in the shape of a shoe. All right, that's going to cost you zip. They cost us, I think it's $10 for 15.
Yeah, they're about 80 cents each or something like that.
So,
not very much.
Know what? Throw a couple of those in your bag, and that's a fun thing to do. And what that will do is build attendance at parties, because people will do anything as an excuse to wear their slippers out. Or you can do...
That means we can wear our slippers too, just to be...
No, we can't cook in slippers.
Oh.
No, you're not allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to do that.
So
but you can put them on after the cooking.
Correct, you could do that. But anything like that, give people, have a onesie party. Have everybody turn up in onesies, not you.
Not you.
So little things like that, make it fun, make it simple, have a winter warmer party. There's recipes on your e-recipe book for your pressure cooker for soups. There's a minestrone soup that takes 15 minutes. You could try that one out. But lots of stuff in your pressure cooker takes 10 minutes or less. So, and all of that, this is a really good winter warmer recipe.
Or you could have a winter woolly recipe. He's got the most outstanding winter jumper. Yeah. Because I've seen some interesting ones.
Oh, yeah. Do a 70s theme. That makes everybody pretty outrageous. Or get everybody to turn up with an apron on, and people bring out their nana's frilly aprons and stuff like that. Just make it fun so that people want to come and see. If they're there, they'll buy, So we've got 3 awesome bundles, and amongst those bundles, if they don't buy the whole bundle, they'll buy a piece of cookware. This is our newest bundle, which is the Kitchen Companion Pack. So basically in the Kitchen Companion Pack, they buy the 3.5 litre brazier, they buy the 2 litre saucepan, and they get the brand new stainless steel steamer that fits on both for free. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do is inside here in my 3.5 litre brazier has always been the stainless steel and silicone colander that I sell always with my 3.5 litre brazier. People that buy this just automatically buy this because they go, so does this come with this? And I say, no, it's an added extra, but it costs $50 and you need to have that with it. So I'm going to say to everybody, this does not come with it, but you're getting this one for free anyway, so you need to add that one. All right, because they like this because this one goes in. They like this one because it goes on. And correct, it fits on both. This lid then goes on the top, no matter which saucepan you're using. All right. The good thing about the stainless steel steamer is if they want to buy more than one, you can stack them on top of each other and steam more. All right. So this is a really good kitchen companion pack. This one people like because when they want to travel, all right, they can take this with them and put it in a caravan and takes up no room like this. Or when they want to wash it in the dishwasher, it washes flat like a plate. All right, so that takes up no room in my kit because it lives in there anyway. All right, so I'll just be talking about that as an added extra to have. So 1, 2, 3 bundles.
This bundle will also give them 64 Chef's Club dollars. So they can then go online and buy $64 worth of silicone to use in there or whatever else they happen to like. So that's a huge incentive.
Yeah.
Not only are you getting that for free,
yes,
you're getting another $64 for free. That's $115 worth of free stuff when you buy that bundle.
That's right. This is the most expensive bundle. So you really want to be talking about this bundle. Okay, so that's our meeting. Our next meeting is the 7th of July. Apologies that we've run a little bit over, but this is a really big month. If you can just upsell by selling a couple more bundles than you normally would, that's going to increase your party average. When you increase your party average, you increase your profit, and more profit is good because then you're going to get to bonus day and be going, woo! I'm going to love bonus day this month.
Yes.
Because when you get over $4,000, you get paid extra. So as you all know, we all get paid 20% on everything that we sell. When you get to 4,000, you get paid 25%. When you get to 8,000, you get paid 27.5%. And when you get to 12,000, you get paid 30% on everything that you sell.
Every single thing.
Nice. Bring on bonus day. We love bonus day. It's the 15th of the month. You'll be able to hear me doing a happy dance from wherever it is
you
that
need
you live.
To take the day off on bonus day.
I think I've got a party that day. Oh, thank you very much for your attention. Happy cooking. Happy selling of bundles. If you have any questions, you know who to call, and we look forward to hearing all about. We look forward to hearing all about your good news. Ciao for now. See you next month.
Bye.
Bye.